In this chapter, I want to create the computer monitor here on the table. So let's just move the cursor there, shift right click, and right now we can add a plane. So shift A, plane, scale it down, something like this maybe, and scale on the X. I think this will do nicely for larger monitor size, and we can now rotate this, so R, X, and rotate 90 degrees, and move this up still in the edit mode, so the pivot point is here at the bottom. So this will be our base plane for the monitor, and right now we can extrude this. So let's press E, extrude, a little bit like that, maybe not so much. And we can make this hard surface by applying the subdivision surface. So let's tab out, shade smooth, and apply subdivision surface. And right now we need to add some geometry there, so tab right back in, and let's make 2 cuts here. Right click, and let's scale this out to something like this, and we need to do the same things vertically, so make the cuts, cancel, and scale on the Z so that these corners here are pretty much even. And right now we want to make sharper these edges here, so again we could use something like the edge split modifier, but I really want some curvature there, so let's add a cut and move it almost all the way here, something like this, and one another, so it's almost touching there. We can adjust by holding shift. Okay, and now this is some nice precise hard surface, and we can go local right now, so press slash, and we can right now make a little bit of a curvature here in the back. So basically there's some space in the computer or in the monitor, so let's tab in, and we can now scale this down and push it outside a little bit. So press G, then Y, and move it out. You can see this will create this nice curve, and you can even push this down a little bit, so you have a nice curved surface. If you want to check whether you have a nice curved surface here, you can always go to the viewport shading here and switch from the studio to matcap, and right here you have several preview materials available, and this one here, this glossy red one, is perfect for hard surface modeling because it will show you all the reflections and all the imperfections on your curved surface. And right here this looks quite alright, but there's some a little bit of pinching here, and we don't need to fix that here because this is basically the monitor on the isometric room render. But if you would be doing some product render or something like that, this could be a little bit of a problem, and there are always ways how to fix that. First could be maybe doing a little bit more subdivided topology here, so basically if you would make this subdivided a little bit more and then extrude out, if you have more evenly spaced topology, you can basically have better results. With the subdivision modifier like this, and you can see now there's no pinching there and the surface is much better. But let me go back. I really like the result what we had here before, and I think it's pretty easy to do, and really for this scene there's no reason to do something different, so I will just go with this. But as you can see, it really depends on your topology and the even distribution of your quads, how good the curved surface looks. So that's just the side note on the hard surface modeling. That's not the scope of this course at all. I just want you to have a place to start if you want to dig deeper into one of those topics. So we can switch back to the studio and we can continue the work on the monitor. And right here I want to create like a display layer. So let's just select this face here, plus Control plus. We can now Shift D to duplicate, P to separate. Go to the new object, select all and extrude a little bit. And again, I want to make these cuts which almost touch the front and back. And this works nicely, I think. But we'll need to separate this in the middle. So there's like a black screen, and then on the bottom there's a steel finish or something like that, like you can see on a IMAX. So let's just select this and we'll make a cut in the middle, move it down somewhere like this, and right now we can select this vertices, switch to face select, and we can separate that. So let's press P and separate, but without the duplication. And right now if you go back, you can see there is a perfect split there, because as I told you before, if there is an, let me hide this, if there is an open shape like this, the subdivision surface just stops there and makes it perfectly sharp. So yeah, that's about the split, and right now we can finish with the stand and that'll be it basically. We still have a cursor in place, so let's just add a new plane. Let's scale this down to something like this. Okay, this will work. And select this edge here. You can go to the side view, extrude on the Z. Let's enable the vert select so we can better see what we're doing. Let's move this to the middle of the monitor and extrude on the Y, move here. Maybe we can push this a little bit outside, so press G, Y, move this up a little bit. And then I want you to select these edges. Let's scale them like this and bevel. So Control B, bevel, and make this 5 segments like that. Right now we can go to the vertex select these two here, and Control B then V to make the bevel there. So you already know how to make shapes like this, but you can use this technique to make some nice industrial smooth shaded shapes just like that by using the solidify modifier. So first of all, let me smooth shade this. Let's add the solidify modifier and let's go to the negative direction. Let's look from the side. Yeah, so we need to go negative like this. So minus 0.01, and let's enable even thickness. And right now we can layer these modifiers on top of that, so you can still add the edge split modifier here, and that will, according to the angle set, but this will be enough, it will make nice smooth object here with sharp edges. And again, this is just simple plane, and the modifiers do all the work for you. And you could of course go even further and add some bevel modifier here, or subdivision surface, or anything you want. Okay, but right now I want to select these and move this a little bit backwards. Okay, I think this looks all right. And yeah, and right now we can just call this monitor. This one display. This can be monitor 2. And this can be monitor stand. And again, select all, shift click the monitor, Control P, and parent object. Let's exit local view by pressing the slash key. And again, right now you have a monitor which can be scaled according to this pivot point on the table. We can move this a little bit backwards. And that's it for the computer.